Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Addie, and today we are building more university housing. We are actually building a sort of like converted duplex or converted like two home thing into like one home, if that makes sense. I am watching this back and I am realizing that I added a basement. Um, and I did not furnish that basement. So, anyway, I apologize. If you want to furnish the basement, you can. Maybe more bedrooms? I don't know. Anyway, so, um, in total, this university housing is for Brightchester, and it is technically four bedrooms, two bathrooms, but it has six beds, so two rooms with one bed and then two rooms with two beds. And I am putting a second front door, but I did play test this build, and your Sims will in fact use um, that that front door from um, growing together because I put something in the way of the front door from university. Because obviously you don't need two front doors, one of them is decorative. So I made the growing together front door the main front door. There are stairs to both of them, but again, the university front door is blocked off, so your Sims won't use that. And then we have kind of an interesting floor plan. So I imagined that this house was bought by one of the professors at Britchester University, and they open it up to students so that the students have like more space. You can see now that I do not have a staircase to the basement. That is because I have object permanence issues, and let me tell you, I did not remember that I had a basement by this point. My dog decided that she wanted to um, like require all of my attention. So we were dealing with that and not really paying attention to the like actual build. Um and this second side, so I decided to kind of aim to have the two halves kind of reflect the packs that they were like the front doors were from. So on the right, we have the growing together version, or like side, on the outside, and then on the inside, or and then on the left side, mm, anyway, I am directionally challenged. You tell me go right, I am going to go left. But the left side, the university side, is um inspired by university. So we've got the two sides, and then I'm trying to make it seem a little bit more interesting. Of course, my neighbor's dog has decided to start screaming for no reason. Anyway, we have, I'm going through and I'm like trying to include a little bit more from both packs, and I decide I do not like the growing together columns for this, so we have that. And then we're going around and putting columns on the edges. That's something that I feel like goes better in The Sims than in real life. And the window situation was a little bit complicated. Um, we and oh, and another thing that you're probably like, what the fuck is going on right now? I am building it backwards on the lot because the lighting is better. The lighting is better. Anyway, so the window situation, I decided to use these like stained glass windows from Growing Together. I felt like they were really pretty. This is no means a limited pack build, but it is a little bit limited, I think. No, no, scratch that. It's not limited. We use everything. I think we use a lot of packs in this build. I know off the top of my head, Growing Together University, obviously. We use Crystal Creations, Paranormal, um, Eco Lifestyle, Cottage Living, um, a lot of things. We use a lot of things. And the landscaping on this build is actually quite simple. We just had like some flowers and then some like low-lying little flowers underneath them. And I thought it was kind of cute. I don't usually do pretty simple landscaping like that, but yep. So we have that, and I wish that we could build fences, not necessarily walls. I feel like walls are a little bit sketchy to build on the edge of lots, but fences, like, I don't know a single person that hasn't been like, that's been like, I'm gonna build my fence not on the edge of my property, but 3 feet in from the edge of my property. You know, like, why would you do that? You just lost like 6 feet of space on both sides. And so, yeah, anyway, this is what the build ends up looking like. And we are moving inside at this point. Um, we have a lot. This build is definitely, if you saw my um build on Saturday, you'll like this past Saturday, like the build I just uploaded. That was some dorms for Brightchester. And that build was definitely more how I imagined Brightchester would build, but because this house or set of townhouses was bought by one of the professors, I felt like it was okay if it was a little bit quirky, a little bit untraditional. I felt like maybe this person that owned the house was like it definitely came pre-furnished, right? So you don't really get like a say on what your room looks like, but it definitely has more personality than the rooms in the dorms. And also you can bring some like more permanent objects. So, not too many spoilers, but there's a gem cutting table, there's like candle making, I think there's a woodworking table, all upstairs in the bedrooms. So, you can sort of customize the room a little bit more than you would be able to in the dorms. Not to say that the dorms are bad, they're just less permanent, right? I feel like the kids who live here, they're probably like, upperclassmen. They're probably like pursuing a bachelor's or something at the university. So there's not really like they've definitely been here a while. Um and it's not really like a fraternity or a sorority. Let me know if you want to see something like that. Um but I think that having this build is kind of useful because there are more um how do you say? There's like more space, you know? Yeah, it's a little bit further removed from campus, but it's kind of nice to be a little bit further removed from campus. Like, I know that yeah, being close to campus when I was in college was pretty cool because, like, you just hopped in a car, oh, excuse me, hopped in a car for like 5 minutes and boom, you're there. But there is something kind of nice about being away from campus that you wouldn't really get in the dorms. You know, like my sim um in my legacy challenge that I'm playing right now, they are in university, which is part of the reason why I'm building these. Which they just moved out of the dorms like I think like episode before last. I haven't posted update for them in a while. I just haven't had time. Those sorts of videos take a little bit longer than speed builds. To record, to build, to like to record and then edit and then, just they require a little bit more time than just like building, speeding up the footage, editing, talking, you get the idea. Um, they require a little bit more time. And you'll notice I'm doing a couple of things here in the kitchen. So I found a hack. My sim moved into this lot, because I did put this lot, not this particular house, but they moved onto this lot, a different house, but they moved into this, sorry. Um, they moved into this house, or this lot, and I found it so inconvenient that they couldn't have a stove, because we're obviously not on campus, right? Like, the professor is not going to be like living on campus. I've never known a professor or a teacher at a university or college or whatever to live on campus. You know what I mean? So I found it very inconvenient, but the university requirements is that you don't have a stove or a grill. And so you can't have like a pizza oven, you can't have a stove, you can't have a grill. Um, and so I found a couple of ways around that. And I mentioned this in my previous speed build, but if you didn't watch that, um, basically you can have waffle makers, and you can have hot pots from, so the waffle makers are from Home Chef Hustle, and because they're considered an appliance like a microwave. And then a hot pot, I don't know what that's classed under. I didn't quite pay attention, but you can have those as well. And those are from Snowy Escape. Super useful. Hot pot kind of makes like, I don't know, I'm not like well versed in Japanese culture. That's not like a thing that I find very interesting. Um, but it kind of looks like soup. And you can correct me in the comments if you know more about what hot pots technically make, like what you would call that dish, but it looks like soup in The Sims. And so you can have like these real meals without needing to leave your house. You can have waffles, you can have whatever, and then you can also have like cereal and like microwaved meals and things. You can make prepped ingredients in the um because I did put a mixer in here. And so you can use those to make meals that your Sims aren't going to be like, oh, feeling uncomfortable from like too many desserts or whatever the fuck. So we have that. And I decided, I did want to have a couple of nods to the university. I know this is not technically like it's technically university housing, but it's not like owned by the university. I mean, it probably is. It's probably owned by the university, but maybe like a previous what you call it, previous professor or somebody lived here, and it's just like sort of eccentric, um a little bit fun, a little bit eccentric and stuff. And we are doing the floor plan upstairs and like decorating upstairs. And we are starting with one of the two bedrooms, or we'll be starting in like the purpley kind of room first. And I'm just picking out what beds I want. I didn't want them to be too expensive because again, I did imagine that this was owned by the school, or at least like put in this like regulated by the school. And we tried a couple of things. You'll notice that I used a lot of paranormal and then a lot of the uh, Crystal Creations pack. So the two wallpapers that I used are from those packs. Love those. If I had to say what packs are my personal style, Crystal Creations. Crystal, just that's just it. just Crystal Creations. I also really love paranormal. I use paranormal a lot in my previous, like in one of my previous videos. I didn't like that I was using the same one 4 times or the same two twice, but I just went with it because like what else the fuck you supposed to do? So we have two in here. We have this is like the purpley room, and we have a lot of windows in here, which is really nice. They are all covered in drapes, or I guess those aren't drapes, those are blinds. And we have this room is the most bland of the rooms. I did go back and add in a couple of things, but for the most part it is like the most bland of all of the rooms. Um we have two beds, two dressers, and a desk. And it is probably like really expensive to live in here, but it's nice. You have a lot of accommodations. Um, Unfortunately, it is not accessible. So like I couldn't live here even though I love it. But yeah, so it's very pretty, very nice. And then I did end up adding more brown because I wanted the rooms to feel like they were a part of the house, you know? And that first room didn't really have a lot of brown. It was mostly white. So we have that. And then we have this room. This room is the like crystal creations room. So we've got like a bookshelf and a crystal table, and my sim actually moves into this room. I did contemplate which room to have them move into because the other room, the room with the brown bed, fits them better. They're more of like a crafty kind of person. But they move into this room solely because it's a little bit easier to change out. So here's that gem cutting table. Um, I still call it a gem cutting machine, even though it's not a machine, it's a table. And so every time I have to correct myself, or like pause and think about it. But we have that gem cutting table, and it's very like green in here. I think that the bed and the dresser and the nightstand, the plants, the bookshelf, all of those were like like put in there by the person who like the professor that owned this house before, um or that's like the leader of this. I don't know, not like a leader, but like I don't know. I'm not well versed in university anythings. I went to a community college. Um, I got a degree in studio art so I can paint. I'm not a sculptor. I'm not a sculptor. I like to draw and I like to paint. Um, but basically, I imagined that like the beds and the dressers and like the big main furniture, so nightstands, mirrors, tables, um, all of that was put in here by whoever owns the or like takes care of the house. And then like the hobbies, so this so like the gem cutting table, the easel, any like the woodworking table and candle table, whatever, all of those were put in by the students, because I did imagine that these were upperclassmen, so they probably need those things for their classes that they're taking. And then in here, this room is probably my favorite, and when I was building it I did think that Angel was going to live in that room. Angel is my sim from my university Let's Play. And I did think they were going to use that room, and then I realized that they are taking 4 classes every semester, and they need that presentation thing. And I didn't really want to just like put that in my like in front of the like like a skill building item, you know? So we have that. And then I did go ahead and put some more windows in that room because it was kind of bland. And then we are coming to the end of the video, just finishing up lights and landscaping. If you liked this, if you would like and subscribe, that would really mean a lot. And I will see all of you on Thursday. Bye now.